Hi, my loves.
If I do bad, I wouldn't have did all that.
So I'm gonna try to make this update no longer than like 10 minutes because I am gonna get back to studying because contrary to popular belief, I actually have been in my bag, okay? I've been on my Zoom. Yes, I did go outside for Labor Day weekend and I do have clips of that. Okay, so I am still in DC. I made a new friend. Go ahead, introduce yourself, Maria.
Hi guys, I'm Kosi. I'm from Texas.
Yes, I'm gonna have to make a whole tour to Texas.
Yes, because we're gonna do this part 2.
Part 2, and I need better food. I do. I want some Texas food.
Oh yeah, because the DC food is not
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. I didn't used to be like this. I felt like there was better food. Like, I don't know what happened.
This is my first time.
Yeah,
so
you came at a
bad
decline,
experience.
unfortunately. Yeah. There's some good drinks though.
It's gonna be
a little expensive though, but the drinks are good. We don't pay for them.
Look at this face.
Look.
Yeah, every time.
So, but how do you like you say?
I feel like you made my trip.
Oh my God! Hi,
I don't think I would have liked it that much if I wouldn't have met you.
You know, it's so crazy because I feel like I don't even know how we met inside the club.
Yeah, 12 Stories. So we went to this club.
Yeah, it was 12 Stories.
Yeah, it's not really a club. It's like an event.
Wait, I think it's like right over there, isn't it?
You can see it.
Is it?
Right up there, yeah. So we actually met right there. That's crazy, and that's how we're ending our trip.
Yeah.
We met at 12 Stories, and she's such an outgoing person. So I think you made a comment on something, and I laughed.
I probably just called her a baddie, to be quite honest. So she looked good. And then obviously long term best friend.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I was like, oh my God, you look great. And then we just started laughing. Oh no, we were laughing at somebody taking off their shoes.
I knew it was something.
Man,
yeah.
somebody had their shoes off in that dirty line. I'm sorry, that's dirty. And if you see this girl, it's no offense to you, but baby, don't ever do that again.
Yeah, she was like, ain't no way.
Yeah, you gonna have foot folliculitis. Yeah, that nasty. And it was drink spilling and you was sliding all in the big girl that wanted it. So I think I made eye contact with you.
And we were like, no.
And then we just hit it off. And
from there, here we are.
Yes, I like her sisters too. Well, the 2 that I met. You have any?
Yeah, you haven't met one of them, so it's only one remaining. So she's gonna come to Dallas and visit me. We're gonna do part 2, and then I'm gonna run it back in South Carolina.
Yeah. North Carolina.
Ooh, yeah,
we're gonna go to Charlotte. We're gonna go to Raleigh.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, at least Charlotte. I have to go to Charlotte somewhere too.
No.
And then we're still gonna turn up tonight.
Yes, we are. We're actually about to leave because it's about to rain, so I think we need to go.
2-3 drop already.
Show them the yachts.
Yeah. Oh, the boats.
We looking for the whole.
Yeah, love the wharf, love the Navy Yard, always beautiful.
Beautiful people.
Beautiful people. Look at my fashionable bestie.
Oh.
But I still managed to study even while I was outside. And I think that for me, this update is more so about what changed from the first round of studying to now, because my next monthly med update, I would have taken my exam already. I'm taking it at the end of this month. Which is kind of crazy because where the hell did the time go? But anyways, and so this update is just gonna be me talking to you guys about what I did differently. So first things first, when it does come to balancing my free time and my downtime, I felt like I really made sure to prioritize getting some type of studying in every single day, even if it wasn't the full 8 hours sitting down in front of a laptop, you know what I'm saying? I do have these PDFs that I use, and so I really made sure that I at least read through some of my PDF notes, that I did some flashcards, and then I even bought a whiteboard so that way I can start doing some whiteboard word dumps and mind mapping, and that has really helped. I've also been calling my friends, I've been sharing my notes with them and literally regurgitating my notes word for word to them. That's been a really good method of studying for me. And I think ultimately I have just approached this entire process with my free time specifically as if it's a job, you know? So I've been scheduling my free time and scheduling the type of studying that I'm gonna do around my free time, and it has just worked wonders for me. Something else that I've been doing differently is not feeling like I need to know everything. I think the first time that I studied, I was very panicky about the fact that I wasn't getting through PDFs or Anki decks or whatever in a timely manner. Now I feel like I don't care. Now I think I'm more so trying to consolidate information and do concept maps, like I was saying, and do a lot more relations to concepts just to make sure that I understand them. So for example, I don't even use the pre-made Anki decks anymore. So the pre-made Anki decks, if you're not familiar, are something that you can download from the actual Anki hub. I pay $5 a month to get the synchronized notes. And so I don't actually use those to the full extent. I try my best to make my own, and I try to make it so that it's literally a dump. So for example, for me to just like pump out and go. And I think that by approaching my weak areas more so in a sense of get the key points and move on has been so much better for my mental state. I'm not feeling as anxious, I'm not feeling as nervous, although that might be because of the ADHD meds. Yeah, that might be because of the ADHD meds, but that's neither here nor there. I think that by being just more calculated overall with my weak areas and not feeling like, again, I need to know everything in crazy amounts of depth has helped so much. Next, I'll say the difference between this time and the last time, outside of just my study approach and my approach to free time, has also just been feeling like it's not that bad, right? Now that I've taken it the first time and obviously I didn't pass, I think that I can reflect on it and go, you know what? That test really was comprised of things that were skippable. I obviously can't go into too many details before like USMLE like comes and sues me, but please don't, because I have no money. But I feel like just in general, the actual test platform kind of reminds me almost of like the MCAT. Obviously it's a lot harder because the concepts themselves are harder, but it reminds me of the MCAT in that it really does feel like there was no way that you were gonna study all of this. So you really just have to be able to get the gist of each of the questions and then accept that you may or may not have gotten it right and like who cares and like just keep going. And so I think that all of these three things combined have helped me just have a way better retake process. Something else that I'll say that I've noticed that is a major difference between the first time that I studied for STEP and now is that I forced myself to get it done in a shorter amount of time. So the permit for USMLE Step 1 and maybe even Step 2, I don't know about Step 2, but for Step 1 is 3 months long. So you have this 3-month window to schedule and take your exam. My window was July, August, and September. So by spending all of July just getting my mind right, going back to therapy, spending August really examining my weak areas and where I feel like I fell short on the actual examination, to now September, I literally only have 3 weeks before I test. I think it's just forcing me to be locked in. I think the more time that I had and the more comfortable I felt pushing back my exam, the less serious that I took my studying. And I'll just be completely transparent about that, take full accountability for that, because although there were things going on in my life that made me feel as if it was okay for me to take more time, I think that I needed some type of fire under my butt. And so I'm glad that I'm just lighting that right now. And things have just been really good. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like I'm not gonna pass this time around. But to go back to me being outside for Labor Day weekend, y'all, it's actually so strange going out and about as like a med student that has a bunch of stuff to do, because besides me retaking Step 1, I'm also in all of these different leadership positions, which I promise y'all I'm going to tell y'all more about, because the fall season is literally application season. I'm applying and submitting to be a speaker at a national conference. I'm in charge of like 2 orthopedic surgery events that we're hosting in my region. I'm a part of all these different e-boards. And so it's definitely a strange feeling just being outside, because I was like, why do I feel like I have stuff to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I scheduled and I planned to have that downtime and have that free time, I still was feeling very much like, don't I have emails to send? don't I have like research and data to clean up? And I want to be very careful of that. Okay, I want to be very careful of that, because I told y'all that my entire channel, my entire existence as a med student is based off of being more than a med student, is based off of me having conscious awareness that I cannot just consume myself just with my professionalism and professional tasks. So the fact that that's how I was feeling this weekend was kind of like weird to me, because it's probably the first time that I felt like that since starting school. And I think it's just because I feel like I have so much more responsibility because I'm in leadership positions, you know what I mean? It's not just like me studying and like whatever happens will just ruin kind of my future or my prospects or whatever. There's other people that are impacted by what I have going on. So I think think that that in of itself is what's putting that pressure on me, because I don't want to be a burden to anyone on my teams. And so that has just been a very interesting feeling to kind of navigate. I'm hoping that it doesn't like take me out or take me under. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on just how I'm feeling in terms of progressing through this like next phase of my life after I finish step 1. Because yeah, y'all, I have a lot of stuff to tell y'all that I'm doing, like a lot. But anyways, yeah, let me get back to studying. Like I said, this was going to be a very short and sweet update, nothing serious. I just wanted to kind of check in and let you guys know that yeah, I'm still alive. Next updates, like I said, will be after I take step 1 and like once I'm kind of in the throes of my research. I do plan to still make that upload about medical school interviews, because I know that it is like pre-med season and you know, y'all are like anxious and going through the cycle and like what the heck. So I will definitely make sure that I record just a couple of updated videos, even though my pre-med playlist is always available. I'm always going to plug that because I hope that it is a ongoing and continuous like useful resource. But I will just make a couple of updated videos, probably the med school interview. Let me not say probably, because I wrote it down. Hello, I'm recording on my camera so I can use my phone and things like that. Mwah, chef's kiss. Okay, so the next couple of videos that I have coming out specific to just pre-med students that I think would be helpful, or just anybody interested in going to medical school. I have the medical school interview advice. I'm going to be talking about my preclinical courses, the ones that I love, the ones that I hated, and just kind of how to prepare for them. I'm going to talk about how to choose a school, both college and medical programs, so undergrad and professional programs. I'm also thinking about doing a little conversation on how I'm balancing doing medical school and being a content creator, because y'all, I do not consider myself to be a med fluencer like at all. I consider myself to just be Z, right? Just a normal person who just records themselves and talks about their feelings. And y'all, my TikTok has been doing decently well to the point where I am now getting brand deals. Oh, you probably can't see all that crap in the back if I move. You see that like pink box? So that's my first promotional package, which I think is crazy. And I'm really excited because a lot of my content does, at least for YouTube, does relate specifically to my path in medicine, but more importantly, it's the intersectionality of lifestyle and medicine. And so a lot of my future collaborations seem to kind of align more with that lifestyle aspect. So hair, makeup, beauty. And I'm so excited about that because those industries be making a lot of money, number 1. And number 2, have a lot of opportunities. And so I definitely can't wait to talk to you guys more about just like how that is going and how I'm trying to, again, keep that balance with obviously my duties and my responsibilities and my passions as a med student. So that'll be another video for you guys to look forward to as well. And then my friend is getting married on September 21st. So that will be an entire weekend vlog. Wow, I'm spinning like ADHD spins. Then my friend is getting married, like I said. So that will be an entire weekend vlog, getting ready with her and just celebrating her and her love, because she's the only person apparently out of my friend group who was being very serious, right? Clearly was not on my Zoom when it came to that because your girl is still single. Damn. But that's neither here nor there. So I can't wait to record that as well. And I think that's pretty much it. Definitely try to keep up with the rest of my socials if you guys want. Like I said, I think that I'm a different persona per platform. I feel like TikTok is more of me being just super raw and authentic in terms of my regular everyday personality. My YouTube channel is more personable as a student, and then my Instagram is just me being a baddie. It's literally just pictures of me. And I think those are all the socials I have if you guys wanted to connect with me elsewhere. And then of course, always feel free to leave a comment. I always try my best to reply to you guys because I really appreciate the support. I mean, my channel has just been consistent even when I have not been. I really appreciate almost 700 of you now. I'm so excited. I can't wait until I finally hit my 1K goal, but I am grateful that I even have 1 subscriber. I say that all the time and I really mean it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry that this update wasn't like super in-depth. I can make a more dedicated how to study for step 1 type video, but obviously I think I just want to make sure that I'm giving the right advice once I feel like my methods are proven true. One thing that I can't stand is when people talk about stuff and they have like no basis to be talking, because it's like now you just blowing air, you just blowing carbon dioxide out into the world. And I don't ever want to be that person. So maybe once I feel like my methods have been tried and true and I'm feeling not only confident, but I have the proof to back up that confidence, I'll come back in with a this is exactly how I study video rather than just explaining it like I did. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't wait to see you guys in my next uploads. Mwah!